You are now listening to the podcast for geeks and the stuff they love, where each week we'll talk about everything from anime to movies, games, and prop collecting with the people who create and love it. I'm Jeremy.
I'm James.
And this is your Geek Tips. Last night I released the newest video that we have for our channel, which is the Ghostbuster video, which we're not going to talk too much about today because we are actually going to have a full-blown Ghostbusters discussion when Vince is back. Vince is home taking care of some different family things today, and wish him the best of luck. But I will say, in relation to that, like most of the things that I've done, it seems like every time I go to do a video, especially with some of these bigger ones, this is one of those bigger production things, which I'll give you some behind the scenes information on, because it was so much worse than I let people know in the video. But I was stressed out because it goes longer. You're spending more time than you had anticipated. You're anxious to get it out. I had a goal in mind originally that I wanted to have it out just before Halloween. So Halloween came right after the weekend this year. It was kind of a perfect time to release that video. And I was really working hard to do that. And at the same time, the thing I mentioned before on the podcast is that I had the opportunity to work with Prop Store not too long ago. And the plan was I would be working with them again just right around Halloween time, because a couple days after Halloween, they were having the big auction that they do each year in the UK. And so we're talking like they had an R2 unit. They have Johnny Five from Short Circuit. They had stuff from, you name it. You pick your genre, pick the thing that you love the most. You want to get that Bible that is all cut out for the hammer to be able to escape the prison. You want to, you want your Terminator stuff, whatever it might be. They had it. And some really big and cool items, some cars this time again. And this one was actually big enough that I even saw some other YouTubers that normally don't notice this sort of stuff talking about it. Like Moist Critical and stuff was talking about it not too long ago. In fact, a lot of them were questioning, well, how can this even be? Like, how is it that these things go for this much money? Is this a real thing? And the answer is yes. I mean, these are major auctions. These are items that are worth a lot of money, but also once when they get auctioned off, they're gone kind of forever. And Prop Store was super nice, actually, to me. They have been for quite some time now. Vince isn't here to talk about it, but Vince was wanting to get some better pictures of the hoses on R2 because there's been a lot of conversation about what kind of hoses those are, and even the fabric on it, how close the count is on those threads and things like that. And so he contacted me and he said, well, is it possible to have them do a picture that we can, some photographs that let us know a little bit better the size and some more of the details. And I contacted them, and the main people actually got down, took formal pictures, close-ups of just those parts for us. I mean, super nice, right? Mm-hmm. And to make it even better is I was supposed to meet with them a few days before Christmas. So the Friday before Christmas, before Halloween. So the Friday before Halloween. And I also had the opportunity. I almost questioned telling people this because I know there's going to be people that are going to think that I made the wrong decision. And I get that. That's why I'm bringing this up. I would have the opportunity to meet Mark Hamill and spend time talking to him, which I wanted to for a long time. I mean, that's one of my things since I was a kid that I would love to be able to do. And when it came down to it, everything just kept going wrong. Plus, real life continues too when you're doing these things. I work in the medical field, so I work a full-time job, and then I have a little bit of time at night to get some things done. But the last interview that I did with those guys at Prop Store, it was also a pressure thing. It's like we filmed one day, and then they needed it released like 2 days later because it has to come out well enough before the auction that they can use it as part of their promotional information. So their deal was, let's do the interview on this Saturday. They were willing to do it on a Saturday, which is awesome. But then it needs to be out there before like that Sunday or on Monday morning, Halloween. And I had all this other stuff going on. Plus, I'm trying to get this video out because I think this is a big one I want to get out that year. And in the end, I turned them down. I emailed them and I said, I've got a lot of stuff going on. I don't think I can do this. I'm gonna have to. I think I better back out. And I said, I hope there's other opportunities in the future. And they said, oh yeah, there'll be other opportunities. Stuff. Mark Hamill's people said the same thing. They're like, I'm sure we'll be able to work out something down the road. But and then
it's
in the end,
I got in the teeth.
Yeah, well, and I in the end, I actually ended up there was a point I think on that Saturday night that I figured out I wasn't going to get this done in time, and I want to make a good video. If you haven't seen the video yet, by the way, check it out. I'll tell you in a second that there's something that you can actually even get for watching that video. But yeah, here I decided I wanted to, I wanted to spend more time with it. I want to be able to do a few more things with it, and there's no reason to rush it. And so I let it go. And so I didn't do either thing that weekend. I could have probably done the other, maybe, but in the end, honestly, if as much as I should be disappointed, I felt a huge relief, and 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 did stupid things. Even in the end, I remember there was a point where I was like, you know what? I think now I can take time. I binge watched a show, things like that. But I missed my opportunity to be able to do something that could have been really cool. But I don't know if I would have enjoyed it, and that's the big part to it, is being able to enjoy things that that we're into, that we love, these geeky things. It's only fun if you can actually have fun
Enjoy
with it and not hate it afterwards. That last one I did with them, I actually kind of hated it afterwards.
You would have felt so stressed trying to make sure that everything goes perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Apart with like thinking about the video that you want to release, and your mind wouldn't have been fully with it.
Yeah, that's the way I felt about it.
It sucks.
It does. Looking back on it, I'm just like, if I had a time machine, I wish I could take the video that I've already completed, go back in time, release it on time, and then also do the other stuff. But that's fine. It was all good. And that's not really what this particular episode is about. It's more about the things that we get to do that are interesting, opportunities that come along, be able to take some of those geeky opportunities. You've been able to go and do some stuff, I know, over these past weeks, and be able to do things that you enjoy. I also did some things that I took some opportunities that were odd, and then check them out. And then next, when we talk pretty soon too with Vince, we can talk more about conferences and things. But at the same time, tell me a little bit about what you got to go do and where you went, and let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've like for the last few weeks, I've been pretty occupied both with work. Most specifically because one of our co-workers has been off with child, and like our company isn't like it's not a big company. Like we're only like under like 7 people in the office.
Wow. Yeah.
And we manage networks, like ISP networks, internet service provider networks all over Spain in our case. So having one person down and having customers which have their own customers, like around 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 people, you sort of notice the pressure.
Right.
And specifically this week, apart from having one coworker like with child, we've had another 2 coworkers off sick, off doing conventions, off doing whatever. So at the moment, it's me and like 2 or 3 other people, and like it's pretty stressful. So that on one part, like the work aspect. And then I've recently been, I don't know if anyone is following my main sort of stuff. I've recently been going with preparing an aquarium. So I've been really into that.
Really cool one, yeah.
This next Tuesday, I should start getting the fishies. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll be uploading that. But then apart from that, I decided to try and unwind. I went on a trip up to the mountains in Barcelona, specifically Berga, if anyone, Berga, up into the mountains to sort of get away from everything, from like internet connections, and just
It looked
enjoy
like you were sitting
the
on top
surroundings.
of a cliff to me, or a hill or something.
We we were in a like a renting area that
Uh-huh.
we were all talking about it, and we think that it must have been like 3 million euros, like the place, like the cost of the place, like both the
Oh
building and the
wow.
land and everything, and it was spectacular. We
Hmm.
went up there just like for the main idea, like me and a group of friends, just to sort of unwind. We prepared lots and lots of food, which was very good.
Right.
Uh, I've got more photos which I haven't uploaded or shared and stuff, but I've there was cows right outside of the building, so like you could walk into the like garden area and there were cows and stuff. So it was really good, like very nice. It was uh, very difficult to go up there though because it's 6 hours away from where I am typically, so
Oh
it was a 6 hour drive to go up
wow.
there and then 6 hour drive back for a weekend. So
Not to
I
sound
don't
ignorant, like how far is it from the north to the south of
like the
Spain
very
in
north to
general?
the very south.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say that like you could drive that whole distance in like 12, 13, 14 hours probably.
Oh wow, really? How about how far away is Portugal and stuff like that?
From where I am,
Yeah.
I, I'm so if you have Spain, so you've got Portugal on this side, and I'm literally all the way on the other side.
Oh
So
yeah. Okay.
yeah, so if like Portugal, I would assume is like 10 hours, maybe a little
Wow.
bit less. But
Okay.
yeah, no, it would be a fair drive.
Yeah.
But specifically with this one, it was like I say, it was 6 hours. It was a 4 hour drive straight to like the center of Barcelona to pick
Huh.
up some of the people that were going there, and then another like 2 hours drive up.
Yeah.
And we
You can
got
tell you've
there.
been there when you say Barcelona rather than
Yeah, yeah, the accent seeps through.
yeah, yeah.
It's like the other place is Berga. So you've got
Oh.
Barcelona, Berga,
Uh-huh.
and the place that we came from, which was Valencia. So,
Valencia.
but no,
Yeah.
it was good. We got there like 11 at night or something along those lines, and then we
Oh.
decided, or the people that were there that were already there, because
Mhm.
3 or 4 of them got up there before. They decided that they wanted to start making pizza for all of us,
Oh,
and so
huh?
we finished like preparing dinner at like 1 in the morning, and then had dinner at like 2 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Um, and then the next day, we decided to make paella, which is
Mhm.
a very typical rice
Yeah.
meal from Spain, specifically Valencia.
Yeah.
And the most
Did you grill
idiotic
it? Did you
part,
put it on the
no, it was
That's
done
the only way I've had it.
on a typical like stove area,
Oh,
but
okay.
it as I said, it's a rice meal,
Yeah.
and seeing as we were like half an hour away from the closest town or closest shop and stuff,
Yeah.
we decided to buy every ingredient that we would need first. And
Oh.
so we got the meats, we got the vegetables, we got this and that. We
Yeah.
didn't get any rice. So for our main rice meal, we didn't get any rice.
That's
So we had
funny.
to send somebody to go back
Yeah.
specifically for rice for the meal that we had been planning to do from the very beginning.
Wow. That's funny though. Did you know the big thing that I've been trying to do lately, which I don't know if this is gonna be something people are interested in or not, but I just feel like travel is something that's kind of cool, learning about different areas and the weird things that you can see.
Hmm.
So with the we did for the Proton Pack, we went to Spring Ranch, the
Hmm.
haunted town.
With an
Uh,
E.
with an E, yeah, which is weird. Everyone keeps on telling me, no, that's wrong, because if you type it in, admittedly in Google, you type it in or you try to use GPS to get there, it takes you to the actual ranch,
Hmm.
and that doesn't have an E on it, but the town does. And then to Hastings, Nebraska for the Bigfoot Museum, and
Uh-huh.
then went to Omaha where I got to go to some really weird. There's a whole street there. There's nothing but, and I mean like a normal. It looks like a town, old town that you walk through, and it's nothing but like geeky shops where you can find anything. I mean,
Hmm.
you name it, retro stuff, everything. And then I've got the video game museum in Texas. I've got the what's the place that we just went to? We went to in Colorado. I got to go to Meow Wolf. Have you ever heard of that?
No, no, no.
It's a trip. It's like some games where like you go into this large world space and you're inside a future environment, and
Hmm.
you're doing stuff there, and then you go through a door or into a portal, and suddenly you're in another big large environment. This
Reminds me of
place is
VR
like that
chats.
except real. So, like you get into the place and you take an elevator up,
Hmm.
and the floor that you land on, it looks like you're in uh I don't know, it's some kind of dystopian future universe, with the floating cars and stuff like that. And it's
Hmm.
huge. I mean, like city size. Like you get in there, and it's not just a facade either. Like every store you can walk into, or there's details, small details, which they want you to notice, that are everywhere instead of the grates or whatever. And then yeah, you walk around in there and you interact with people. All the staff are trained to be actors, and so they're there to give you a piece of a narrative, a part of the story. And so you're supposed to interact with them, and then because it is a game too, and then
Hmm.
like you go down into like there's an area where you think it's not going to be anything special, but you go down these stairs into what looks like a demented Chuck E. Cheese. Like it's like something out of another video game. Where like one of the games is there's these two rats, and you make the rats fight each other and stuff. I mean, it is the most incredible place. I don't know how they got the money to make this thing. And then you go through that, and next thing you know, you're on a planet somewhere, and where there's instruments that are parts of the trees, and they're like playing pieces of music, and there's a houseboat that you go into, and there's weird colors and things that are happening, and then next thing you know, you're inside of a world that's kind of like Avatar, that's 4 stories tall, and there's again tons of detail. Like you could spend probably the entire day there and not see everything that's in this place. And
But
it was the most
but is it
bizarre
sort of
thing.
like
They have several in the United States, but yeah,
is it sort of like an escape room sort of thing then, or?
it's not really. I mean, because you can. So there's 2 ways you can go through this. With the way that we chose, I don't know. Maybe we should have done the game version, but the way we chose to do it was that you just get to walk freely through it, and you're not really trying to
Hmm.
achieve anything. The
Yeah,
other way
just.
is you buy this badge that then lets you access some other things, and then you are supposed to figure out by the end where the missing children are, where the missing people are. And so you're supposed to actually ask people things, and you're uncovering things. There's a lot of things that do open and stuff that are pretty weird. There's a there's this one place that looks like a salon, and you go and you sit in the salon chair, and then when you lay back, you can see the top of your head, and then a window, the box closes, it reopens, and then it shows your brain, and somebody's like putting stuff into your brain. It's so weird. It's
Jesus.
just the most. It was like being in a night. Oh, there was this one too where you go and you stick your head up, and you're in this field, and there's all these like mechanical cows, and it just looks uneasy. Like it's interesting, and some of it's even beautiful, but then there's so much of it that's just so disturbing too.
Unsettling, yeah.
Yeah, like you ever watch Courage the Cowardly Dog? Like, do you
Yes,
remember those?
yes.
Like it
I
felt
I have
like
been
that.
traumatized.
Yeah, it felt like that. It felt like that kind of thing. It's like, oh yeah, this is kind of funny. This is kind of, but there's something that's just unsettling about the whole thing. It was that. Yeah, there's that place. We went there, and then I got to go to a mall as well. I guess that was in Colorado as well, where they had every single store was like anime figures and swords and stuff like that, like all this all the stuff that you'd want to find. So for me, this has been a huge escape over the past several weeks, and I'm
Hmm.
planning on releasing a lot. Oh, the other thing I got to go do is the underground castle, which is in Kansas. and nobody can ever go there again. So I've got like the final footage of this place, which it used to be a bunker for the missile silo. And so you go underground and you get the giant doors that roll open and stuff. It very much felt like a Fallout situation. And I've got, all the videos. But then this like cult took it over, and they did weird things in there, and they built a house, and they had like hundreds of people living in it. And the house, as you walk through it, it's just like you think, oh, okay, I've gone through all these rooms, and here's the kitchen and stuff. And then all of a sudden it opens up and there's another house. And now you're inside this like city that's inside and whatever. It was just the most bizarre thing. I've got all that. So I just got to share all this stuff. But at the same time, yeah, it is out there. But tell us about your conference. Tell us the conference you went to.
Which one specifically? The work conference? Or
all of them. Well, the ones that, yeah, like where you got to dress up and stuff like that. You got to show off your app.
I decided to go to a conference in Alicante. So
Alicante.
Alicante, Alicante.
Alicante. Oh, okay.
Which is relatively close to where we are. That was in beginning of November, last week of October, maybe.
Is this like cosplay situation, Comic-Con-ish or Anime Con? What kind of?
No way up to the levels of like Comic-Con or anything similar. It wasn't even an anime sort of convention. It was more of a video game-ish convention. So the building was relatively large, I guess. It's not the largest that I've been to. It was the first time that I went to this specific con. And sadly, when I got there, not that many people were dressed up or sorry, I'm cosplaying. The few people that were there seemed to like have interesting cosplays. I took pictures with Jinx from Arcane.
That's
with
cool.
Asta.
Do they have the oversized weapons then too? And
very few of them. I have a picture. I'll send it to you in a moment. But I took a picture with Asta from Black Clover, if anyone's watched that anime.
Oh yeah.
And I also took a picture with Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. But those were
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Did they do anything to make themselves taller too, or?
No, sadly not. And
that's
the
a
girl,
creepy costume.
It is. The girl specifically doing Pyramid Head wasn't the tallest, so.
Oh, okay. But you're gonna send me all the photos from that and stuff. Then I can show those and things like that. I think there's a lot of fun things that people can do. Things that are out there right now that are entertaining and that are opportunities for being able to show off what you do. If you're not going to send us an email that has the stuff that you built or show us the things that you're into, at least go out and show it to somebody. Like go to these conferences, go to the random places. I'm trying to turn this a little bit more also into a travel channel. I think that's getting to be kind of a bigger thing. So being able to go out and experience different places as they relate to kind of geeky things. And so, we got to do the spring ranch thing in this last video, but wanting to do more things inside of future videos. So if you also have a place that you want us to go to, between the three of us, we might be able to go to some places. I know Vince is coming out actually to Georgia. And I'm trying to convince him to go to the studios where they make actually things like Iron Man and the Marvel movies and stuff. That's all filmed actually in Georgia, not in Hollywood. So at any rate, so we'll try and keep on sharing the things that we're doing and keep talking about the things we're doing. We had a whole conversation actually off the recording about stuff that we're doing, and I just enjoy being able to talk to people, quite frankly, about things that are also kind of dear to me. So please let us know. Email us at yourgeekfix@gmail.com and let us know some of the things that you're interested in. If you've enjoyed this podcast and want more, stay tuned for that, but also check out our channel, join the community on YouTube that goes by the same name, Your Geek Fix. Check out James at Mr. Malto4 on Instagram and the Replica Prop Forum. We also want to hear from you, so be sure to send your questions, stories, and other projects to yourgeekfix@gmail.com. In the meantime, this has been Your Geek Fix.